friends! Today I'm doing a collab from Mena who said that recently on her channel she's gotten a lot of comments from people who say that when they tell people they're trying to get out of debt, they get these strange or rude or crazy comments from them about this choice that they're making in their lives. And yeah, that's totally happened to me. When I've mentioned that I'm trying to get out of debt, I'll have people say, "Well, that's unrealistic. We'll all always be in debt," or just all this insane stuff of people who have bought into the big lies from the credit card companies and lending institutions and everything like that. So she challenged us to talk about one of the things that people say to us all the time and then how we respond. So make sure to check out her channel below, and if you're coming over from her channel or another Collaborators channel, I hope you stick around. I have a very cute dog who you'll get to see if you stick around. Maybe not today, in another video. Alright, so the main thing that I think of when I get all the time is that everyone has a car payment. You can't, it's unrealistic to not have a car payment. We'll always have a car payment. And my response to that is I've never had a car payment. Now, I was very lucky in that my first car was bought for me by my parents, but when I crashed it in college, I was on my own. I had to deal with it from then on. So my last two cars I paid for myself with cash. So I've never had a car payment. I have been lucky enough to have people give me a car before, but I have never had a car payment. I was going to say as an adult, but as in anything. So I get to say that back, and they're like, "But you must be the exception." And I'm not. I'm really not. There are tons of people out there that don't have car payments. This car right here, I bought with cash because I had saved for it, knowing that my previous car was going to crap out. In college, I crashed a car, and the insurance that it paid out, I was able to use to purchase another car with cash. Now, I only spent $2,500 on this car. I found it on Craigslist. I easily could have gotten a complete lemon because I didn't take it in for an inspection or anything. It was very much a parking lot deal of here's $2,500 cash, here are the keys to your car. The guy actually mailed me the title, which I guess he could have not done that if he wanted to, but I trusted him. And that car lasted me for 5 years. Now, a couple of years ago, I realized that that car was not going to last that much longer. And so I was very afraid that I was going to end up without a car and that I was going to have to go in debt to get a car to get to work. So, and a lot of people are in this situation of, they think that any minute now, their car is going to give out. And I would say in that situation, pause your debt snowball or increase your income or do whatever you have to do to immediately start saving for a new car. I paused my debt snowball about 2.5 years ago because I was honestly afraid that my car was going to crap out and I was going to have to take on more debt. And I just kind of started my journey to really adamantly pay down my debt. And it was a hard decision to make because I knew that I was going to have to take several months at least to only pay the minimums of my debt. I wasn't going to get to see it go down, which had been my motivating factor. But I was going to then have this emergency fund for my car so that I could buy a new one when I needed it. And that's what happened. You know, that money sat there for about 1.5 years unused because we can't mentally see into the future when the car is going to give out. But yeah, I paused my snowball for several months. I saved up a few $1,000s. I had $3,000 in the bank for a new car. I decided that I would just have to make do with whatever I could get for $3,000. And last October, the tracker conked out. Things fell out of that car that were not supposed to be able to disengage from that car, according to my mechanic. But I ran that sucker, no air conditioning, nothing on it worked, including the radio. Nothing on it worked until it was gone. And then I spent $3,000 cash on my new car. I will link the video I did on that below on how I negotiated a car down to half price for cash, and it was an excellent feeling. And this new car has all sorts of stuff that works. Now Dave says all the time, car payments are a total waste of time. If you do the math out, the money that you're spending on a car payment every month and the interest you're paying on your car, you could be a millionaire if you saved that instead. Now, because I'm paying off debt at the moment, I'm not saving the amount of a car payment. I'm putting all of my extra income towards debt, but I can't imagine how much harder my life would be, if I was putting $400 or $500 a month, even $300 a month towards a car payment. Whereas right now, the car that I'm looking at out my window is 100% free and clear mine. I paid cash for it, and I have it until I decide not to have it anymore, or to some sort of natural disaster, God forbid. But there are all these people who are struggling so hard with these car payments on top of all their other bills. No wonder you can't get ahead. Now, I have people that also say, hey, my car broke down. I don't have any money to get a new car. I have to take on debt. Well, yeah, you kind of do. But you don't have to buy a $13,000 car, which is what I've seen a lot of people do. I just watched a caller on the Dave Ramsey show say that. They're in baby step 2. All of a sudden, they didn't have any savings. Their car broke down. They needed another car, and so they bought a $13,000 one, which was nuts. And Dave's pretty much said as much. You can buy a beater for a few $1,000s. Dave says you can buy like a $1,000 car. Now, I've never seen a car like that I would get into, but a $2,000, $3,000 car will get you where you need to go for a few years. My car, I guess I'm spoiled because I've driven junky cars for so long, but the fact that my car right now has a clicker and a working AC and power windows and locks is just, I feel like I'm in a limo, honestly. I feel like I could be driving a Rolls Royce and not be happier because I drove like no one else. So later I could drive like no one else. And I realize almost everyone is driving a car that is at least as nice as mine. But to me, this is the nicest thing I have ever driven. And so I keep it clean. I keep it washed. I keep trash out of it. I vacuum it. I love this car and I appreciate this car. And I appreciate it more because I earned every single penny that went towards it. And I sacrificed other things so that I could save up the money to buy this car. So yeah, if you need a car right this second, you might have to go into a little bit of debt for it. Which, I can't recommend, but if it's the reality of your situation and you're going to have to get to work so you can earn money for another car, yeah, you might have to take on a little bit of debt. But don't buy an extreme car. Buy something that will get you where you need to go until you can save up to buy something a little better. And that's the way you do it. You keep saving and you trade up, and you save and you trade up until you're driving a car that you're happy with and you're out of debt. So yeah, you don't need a car payment. You absolutely don't. And if you have a car payment, get out of that sucker as fast as possible. If you are underwater in a car, get out of that sucker as fast as possible if you can. I can't imagine a life where I have a car payment. I'm saving right now, just a little bit at a time for when I'll need a new car. You're always going to need a car unless you live in a place where you can take public transportation. But the reality of my life is for the foreseeable future, I'll need a car. So yeah, when people tell me that I'll always have a car payment, I say I don't. I never have. So yeah, that's one ridiculous thing that people say all the time. And it goes along with, we'll always have debt. Well, I'll always have student loan debt. I won't. I have it now, but as soon as a year from now, I won't. And then I'll never have it again. And then I'll be able to say, I don't have student loan debt. And it wasn't because I got scholarships or I had mommy and daddy pay for college. It's because I paid it off. I got it out of my life and I sacrificed to do so. So thank you very much, Mena, for inviting me to this collab. I got a little lit, but that's okay. I am very much looking forward to seeing what all the other collaborators have posted, and I encourage you to do the same. Tell me something ridiculous that someone said to you about death that you just can be like, no, it's wrong. Stop it. I'll see you soon. Bye.